for them, they are one step ahead now to win the Premier League this season. Arsenal won their game. Chelsea won their game. When they are losing their game, will be scored the first goal for Fulham. Then they introduced a young boy for Chelsea, George, and he scored the equalizer. And Chelsea scored the winning goal at the 94th minute of that game to win that game. Man City won their game. Everybody won their game except Manchester United, who lost at home again against Wolves. So Wolves is going to survive this Premier League. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Volt Sports on Volt 104.3 FM. My name is Gordon. I'm here today with John. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning to you. Good morning, football maniacs and super fans. Eshaluba day to all Manchester United fans out there. It go better.
He
Go
go
better
better.
last.
He go better for now. But let's trust Amorim. Amorim, I think he has something for us next season. So this season is already over. He said that he's going to focus on the Europa League, try to win it, so that if he wins it somehow, they will play the Champions League next season. Okay, let's see if he's going to win it. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. You can go there, join us. Drop your comments. We'll be reading your comments live here in the studio. Remember, when you join us, please subscribe to our channel. It's very, very important to us. Thank you very much. Okay, let's dive into the Premier League proper. The games that happened throughout the weekend, I'll give you the result, then we'll discuss a few of them around the Premier League. Brentford beating Brighton 4-2. Good game for Brentford. Southampton and West Ham played a 1-1 draw. Everton 0, Manchester City 2. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth played a 0-0 draw. The big game on Saturday is Aston Villa trashing Newcastle 4-1. On Sunday, Ipswich 0, Arsenal 4. Wolves beating Manchester United at Old Trafford 1-0. Fulham 1, Chelsea 2. And finally, Leicester City 0, Liverpool 1. Trent was introduced in that game. He scored the only goal after 5 minutes of introduction to that game. For today's game, Tottenham will play Nottingham Forest in the game today. Okay, John, let's talk about the City game on Saturday. City leaving it late. They scored 2 late goals against Everton to win that game. They needed out 3 points because this Champions League spot the hot now.
Yeah, the competition for the final Champions League spots are getting hotter by the day. A lot of teams that should have, been in those positions. Those positions are literally up for grabs. And I feel like if you have one bad game or you put 2 poor performances together, you could be out of those positions. And in that encounter in particular, I'm liking the fact that we didn't settle for a draw, because at the end of the day, what you aspire to is determined by the effort you put in. And then if you aspire for a draw and the opponent senses that you're not going all the way to get a win, they'll be inspired to come back into the game, and before you know it, they win and you lose. You've gotten lower than your expectation. So the expectation has to always be high. But in this encounter, you have to give it to those 2 young lads at City, which is, I'm talking about the O'Reilly, because he's one of the players that has been a revelation this past season. He comes in, he gives other people assist, he comes in, he takes and he creates opportunities, and then he also has this way of bringing everybody up around him. And it was a good game on the night, very good game. Thankfully, we got all 3 points and we can move on.
Got 3 points. Let's see. City is looking for qualify for the Champions League. Remember, that Champions League is now 5 spots for the Champions League. So from 1st to 5th to play the Champions League next season. 4 for EPL for England. Okay, City winning that game comfortably, 2 goals. I won't say comfortably because they scored their first goal in the 85th minute. Then Kovacic scored the final goal in the 92 minutes to win that game for City 2-0. Okay, good result for Pep. Let's see what he's going to do next. I'm interested in what Pep is going to do next season, because this season has to be interesting. He needs to win. He will try and fight the Premier League next season to win it. But generally, I think Pep is doing well. I won't say he's doing well, but I even know that this season that his standard has dropped a little bit. But I think he's picking up from gradually. He needs to buy in the summer because Kevin is moving.
Yes, a lot of players, maybe when I say a lot of players, it could just be 2 or 3 players are moving on, and there's a lot of investment the club is going to make in the team. And generally, I want to say this because this is going to be a striking statement, right? When you have a Roger Bannister run a 4-minute mile, or a 4-minute mile, run a mile in 4 minutes, you set a precedent for other people to aspire to. There was a time in 1960s where you couldn't run a mile in 4 minutes, and until Roger Bannister did that, nobody knew it could be done. And once he did that, in less than 2 years, 1,000 people have done it, right? City have broken a canon law in the EPL, which is nobody has won 4 in a row. And one of the benefits of doing that is that you become a case study other people study to try to replicate the same result. The fall of this season has been off the back of doing that incredible feat. And when you look at where the fall off has happened, you talk about players who are not physically fit. You talk about a lot of players who are dealing with fatigue in terms of the mental stress you have to put yourself through to be able to do it 4 in a row and to be able to do that huge feat. And it's going to become easier for the next clubs that are going to aspire to do that because somebody has already done it in the first place. And of course, the drop of this season was redeemed. So far, we are still looking to finish second or third this season because the points are just there. And if you can keep winning your games and other people keep being who they are, talking about Arsenal fans wherever they are now, and talking about Newcastle fans as well, who are also up ahead of us on the table. If we keep picking our games and winning our games, we could finish second, and a bad season could become a not so bad season with an FA Cup at the end of the season.
Okay, let's see what happens with City. I think this the third. Maybe catching Arsenal might be a little bit tough because Arsenal is 8 points ahead of them. Arsenal need to lose about in last 5 games. They need to lose. They need to lose about 2 games and probably City wins two. In fact, they need to lose about 3 games for City to pass them. But it might be possible. It might not be possible. But let's see what happens for City. They won that game against Everton 2 goals to nil. Okay, other results on Saturday is Brentford winning Brighton 4 goals to 2. It's not really a surprising result because Brentford has been picking up form recently.
Yeah.
And they have been enjoying and winning games. But for Brighton, it's a very disappointing result. For the last 5 games for Brighton, they have played last 5 games. They have lost 3 of those 5 games and drawn 2. So they have been in a very, very poor run recently in last 5 weeks. But let's see if they are going to pick up for Brentford. Brentford actually did well. They are now 11th on the table. But let's see what happens come end of the season. But I'm interested to see Brighton play continental football somehow.
Of
but
course, somehow.
It's going to be tough for them to do that now. But let's see what happens. Other games that happen on Saturday, West Ham and Southampton got
shocking result.
They got a point. They got a point from that game, and it's interesting for Southampton, even though they are out, but they actually fought well in this game.
There was a conversation that was had on Saturday in this show where we talked about everybody's collecting points from Southampton. They are donating points to all the teams. Unfortunately, the so-called biggest, according to Nosona, the so-called biggest club in London could not get 3 points on the night against the Southampton. And for everybody that's been putting Southampton down, I think West Ham fans, wherever they are, if they do exist in Nigeria, they should be hiding themselves right now.
Okay, it was 1 point for Southampton. I won't say it's a good result for them because they are already out of the Premier League. They are going to play Championship next season. The Crystal Palace and Bournemouth played a 0-0 draw in that encounter, even though Crystal Palace got a record at some point in that game, but they held. They are playing at home, so it finished 0-0. Bournemouth have not really been doing well, even though I think January, February they started winning a whole lot of games. They were able to talk about okay, they finished probably in the Europa spot.
They couldn't sustain it.
They couldn't sustain it. They are still 8 on the table. Maybe they can still play continental football, but they need to start winning their games. Okay, the last result that happened on Saturday is Aston Villa 4. Newcastle 1. It was a surprising. It wasn't even a close encounter. Aston Villa trashing them 4 goals to 0. It's good result for Aston Villa.
Good result for Aston Villa. Fantastic game for Unai Emery. I said it, and then you also need to go back and look at some of the undertones of this match because a lot of people are going to build it up to be a lot of things which is not. If you look on the night, Eddie Howe was not available.
Yes,
he's been out.
He's been out for maybe past 2 weeks or so.
Yes, I think he was down with pneumonia or something. So he's not available, and his absence from the sideline is going to tell a lot because look at the way they consider those 4 goals. But then, like I said earlier on, they are on a march towards finishing in the top 3. Talking about Newcastle.
Yes, yeah.
Their results prior to now haven't been so flabbergasting, but look at where they are after a couple of games. It goes to show you that you do not need to be as flashy as Liverpool to actually have a fantastic season. You can just be yourself, and then you let the chips fall where they may. In this encounter, Aston Villa needed it more. because they needed to set down a marker, they needed to move up the table, and at a certain point in time, you have to forget about the fact that you crashed out of the Champions League. You have to channel that energy somewhere. Like you've been there, you've done it to the best of your ability. You fell just shy of qualifying to the next round. Now you have to finish as high up as possible to ensure you are back there again, and that has to be the driver in this encounter, because we saw a side of Aston Villa we haven't seen in the last 7 games. They've never won by this margin in the last 7 games.
Yeah, but if you come into that game, they have won four in a row. Newcastle have won four in a row. Both of them have won four in a row before coming to that game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at now, Aston Villa winning that game, making it fifth in a row wins for them.
Yeah,
So it's a good result.
15 points in 5 games.
5 games, which is actually excellent for Aston Villa and Unai Emery. Actually, he has really done well since he took over that club. They were almost fighting for relegation when he took over that club, and see where he has taken them to. Coach, I keep saying it on this show. Coach, follow the play.
Of course, no
Good
doubt.
coach follow the play. You might have all the big stars, but if you don't have a good coach to coordinate all your stars, it will be going to affect your team.
Another one is the willingness to take risk, because nobody took as much risk as Unai Emery has done in the January transfer window, and that has actually taken them from a possible knockout stage qualification all the way to the quarterfinals. And you have to give it to the man, and it's still paying off in the Premier League, because look at where they are, look at what they've done so far. 15 points in 5 games is phenomenal. I don't think there's any other club in this Premier League that has this record. Okay, that will be Wolves, of course. 5 wins from the last 5 games.
Okay,
Fantastic
let's see
form.
where Aston Villa will finish. They are just 1 point behind fifth position. They are actually the same point with Chelsea, who are in fifth position. 57 points for Chelsea. Nottingham Forest 57 points. Even though that Nottingham Forest will play today, if they win today, Chelsea will drop out of top 5. If they win today, or even if they draw today, Chelsea will drop out of top 5. For Aston Villa, they have 57 points. So let's see who is going to finish in that top 5. Let's move on to Super Sunday. Super Sunday happened yesterday, and first is the Chelsea game. Chelsea winning that game 2-1. It will be scored the first goal in the first half, but everybody was thinking, okay, Chelsea might lose that one. But a young boy was introduced because Nkunku was dropped from that game. I was thinking it was probably injury or something, but after the game, Maresca said that it was a technical decision for him to drop Nkunku out from the squad. Nkunku didn't even make the squad, and he wasn't injured, he wasn't sick. Maresca decided to drop him from the squad for whatever reason he is thinking. But in that game, the boy that was introduced came in and scored the equalizer, and Neto scored the winner in the 93rd minute for Chelsea to win that game 2-1.
Fantastic result at the end of the day for Chelsea, because we've said it here. Sometimes you don't need to win fun and beautiful, you can win ugly. That's the most important part. But then the fine differences between winning ugly, winning your game outright, and then surviving in a match is just the performances you put up in the game. Now, in this encounter, let's not forget that in the reverse fixture, Fulham won it 2-1 when they won this encounter at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, right? And in this encounter, they started well. But the problem they had was actually breaking down the Chelsea midfield and then getting more of those opportunities. If you take a look at the stats now, it's going to tell you a bleak. They just had one shot on target, and that was the one shot that counted for. Look at that, even off target, just 2 blocks, 3. That's all together. Attempts was just 6 attempts. If you look at the opposite side of the pitch, Chelsea actually had more shots on target, more shots off target, and if just one difference in terms of block shot. But what's the conversion rate? If you look at the conversion rate, the conversion rate is pretty poor. But this tells you that apart from getting that first goal in the encounter, Fulham could not break down the Chelsea side. They didn't have a lot of opportunities to create chances, and it tells you that Chelsea, on the other hand, the problem isn't being able to play a good game. The problem is actually converting up front. And we had this conversation on the podcast yesterday. I told you that if you look at the stats of the guy they almost signed in the summer, let's go there right now. Samuel Morodian has 16 goals for FC Porto, and 3 assists, and he has 2 goals in their cup right now. And then look at the strikers that Chelsea paid huge sums of money to get him. How many goals have they gotten? Kunku, what's his numbers this season?
One of them is even at AC Milan.
Yeah.
And they are not going to renew
And
Felix.
they are not bringing him back, and he's
He's
just
going to go back to Chelsea.
it's just crazy, man.
Okay, after the game, Maresca was asked again. He said, in the last 3 years, Chelsea have never been in Champions League sports. So he's saying that it's already a good season for them. The goal from Pedro today doesn't change that. It gives us a chance to be better. So he's saying that even if he lost or drew this game, that they still have a better season because Chelsea have not played the Champions League for the past 3 seasons. But Chelsea fans will disagree. And I also told you that he decided to drop Nkunku for technical reasons. He said that he doesn't want him in his squad. So I don't know what the problem between him and Nkunku. Probably Nkunku is part of have to leave because in few games he has dropped him without any reason, tangible reason for him to drop him. But let's see what happens in the summer. Chelsea needs a striker. They need a target man in that squad. They need a number 9, a good number 9. I think they need a number 9. Then probably Jackson can support.
Yes.
But Jackson can play from the flanks too. Jackson can play either from the plus or even play a 4-4-2 depending. But they actually Chelsea needs a number 9. There is a strong number 9. Probably in this summer they might get one. Remember, Osimhen is still on the market. Sesko is on the market.
Of course, Sesko is on the market. Your correct
is on the market. Osimhen. So 3 big strikers are on the market. So Chelsea probably might have to choose one from these 3. Okay, let's move on to other game. Arsenal winning Ipswich Town 4-0. It was an easy win for Arsenal. That confirms Ipswich relegation. They are relegated back to the championship for next season. They are not going to play Premier League next season. It was a good result for Arsenal, scoring 4 goals. They scored 4 goals in that game. Trossard scored 2 in that game to give Arsenal the 4-goal new. Even though that they got a record. Davis got a red card for Ipswich Town around 32 minutes for that.
You've already considered 2 by them.
Yes. So it wouldn't have changed much for them. But I think they gave a good account of themselves in this Premier League. Even though they are out, they are going back to Championship. But I think it's a good experience for them.
No doubt, it's a good experience for them. A lot of teams, when you qualify, you come to the Premier League, they play defensive, they want to manage and mitigate their losses, but at the end of the day, most of them still go down. So the question is going to be, do you just want to come up to the Premier League, have a terrible season and go back down, or do you want to come up, play through to your philosophy like we saw with Burnley? Burnley are one of the teams that could be back in the Premier League next season, and they've stuck to their philosophy to how they play, and they did it even in the Championship, right? So I wouldn't be shocked seeing Ipswich back in the Premier League maybe 2 seasons from now, because they've stayed true to their philosophy and the way they play. And for all the big teams they play, they always score. You can't begrudge them that, and I think it's a good one for them. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done to actually build a better squad. They are going to take that 80 million pounds or whatever they are going to get at the end of the season, and they need to invest into the squad to ensure that they are back in the Premier League next season.
Okay, for Arsenal was a comfortable win for Arsenal. They know that they cannot win the Premier League, so their focus is now against PSG 2 weeks time against PSG in that Champions League semi-final. So that's where Arsenal and Arteta's focus is. But let's see what happens with Arsenal. But they are trying to finish that second. It's going to be 3rd season in a row they finish 2nd place. So probably next season they will try and do one better.
The beauty about playing football and playing a season is that, like I said in the Formula 1, when you start the season, you start with a car you've designed throughout the preseason, you've worked it out, and then you go out and test it. After a season, you know where all the faults are. The problem is that Arsenal know where all the faults are, and they keep prioritizing the most important acquisition to be the last acquisition they make. For example, this time around last season, they needed a striker. Everybody knows they needed a striker. What did Arteta do? Arteta went to go and build the defense. Arteta went to go and spend money on, what's his name now, Mikel Merino. He spent a lot of money on a couple of other players rather than getting an out-and-out striker. I would be shocked to see Arsenal make the first signing of the summer a striker. I would be shocked. Because
I think they have agreed to be Mendy already, so a midfielder might come first.
So that's the thing I'm saying. We all know where the problems are, but it's as if they pay, let me say, they do not pay focus to that. They pay focus on every other nitty-gritty that could be fixed instead of the main problem.
I think they should let Jesus go. I think Jesus has not really... He did well in the first season with Arsenal, but in the past couple of seasons now, he's been injured. So probably... Ateta had to make a decision to let him go. Maybe buy another striker and pair him and have Havertz in that. And let them both of them fight for that striking position. But let's see what Arsenal is going to do. They won this game against Ipswich Town 4-0. The other game that happened is Liverpool are one step to win the Premier League this season. Actually, they won against Leicester City 1-0. Trent was introduced in that game, and is after 5 minutes of introduction, he scored the only goal in that game. But for the thing about this game is that for Leicester City, they are the only team in the last 5 games that have not even scored a single goal at home. They don't even they see goals score. I don't even understand how you play about 5 or 6 games at home straight. You will not even score one goal. Like, let them score, let them cancel it. You don't have not even scored one goal, but Liverpool dominated this game. 28 shots in total, 10 on target. Leicester City had 0 shots on target in this game. There is something wrong with this Leicester City, and Vanessa started well, but in the last couple of games, almost their result has been terrible. Like, they have been near terrible results. Like, last 8 games, they are only drawn 1 and lost 7. It's just crazy for Leicester City. But they are back to the championship.
They are back to the championship, obviously. In this encounter, it could have been a different scoreline. It could have been a 7-0 scoreline. It could have been a 10-0 scoreline. The fact that it's a 1-0 scoreline speaks a lot of volumes to the work that Leicester City did to shut down Liverpool as much as they did, and to avoid conceding more than the miracle goal that Trent got on the night. And so we have, in that light, you have to give them kudos. You also have to look at the squad they have, and you have to tell yourself the truth that this squad no reach. If you put them pari passu with other teams in the Premier League, bro, the squad no get any depth at all. You get. So for me, I understand the fact that they haven't scored. Yes and good. The only striker they have there is Jamie Vardy. The other persons you have there are forwards who score here and there, but even the goals have stopped coming. Even and this is what we say. For example, now let's say you're having a bad run. A bad run compounds all the mistakes you make in a season that could be overlooked. It makes everybody on the edge. A bad run compounds all your ills in the season. A bad run also affects you mentally and disempowers you from taking the decisions that would naturally have come to you to take to create a goal. So I think they are out of this right now. They should just regroup and then plan for next season, because I don't think there's anything they can do to even lift the spirits of the club right now.
If you look at these 3 guys that are going to relegate, Ipswich Town, Leicester City, and Southampton. Southampton, that is rock bottom, has considered 78 goals in this Premier League. Leicester City, that are 19th, have considered 73 goals in this Premier League, and Ipswich has considered 71 goals. All of them are in 70 plus goals. 3 of them deserve to go back to championship.
Let's not forget that there is a Ramsey.
And if you look at these 3 teams, Southampton has scored only 24 goals in the Premier League. That means they don't even average 1 goal in per game.
Look at the other guys there.
Leicester City has scored 27 goals this season, and Ipswich has scored 33 goals this season. Very poor result for both 3 teams, but 3 of them are obviously going back to championship. Let them go and build and come back for next season. For Liverpool, remember Van Dijk has signed a new contract, 2 years contract to stay at Liverpool the next 2 years. Even Salah too has signed 2 years contract, even though a couple of him have made 3 games now, he has not even scored a goal. He's still stuck at that 27 goals that he still has. But for Liverpool, they are going to win the league. If they win next game and Arsenal drop any points, they are going to be crowned champions of the EPL. Okay, let's talk about the last game. The last game, I left the last because I know that's where everybody will start to try and put mouth. Is Manchester United lost at home to Wolves 1-0. There was a beautiful free kick to get that goal. But if you look at the statistics in that game, it's very, very poor. Manchester United had only 2 shots on target in 90 minutes. Only 2 shots of target in 90 minutes. So it's still very, very poor for Manchester United. Even though they had more corners, 9 corner kicks, they had more possession, 60% possession, but they could not break down this Wolves side. But Wolves got only 2 shots on target and scored 1. One of them is a free kick for Serbia to get that lovely goal. But for Manchester United, that their defense is still somehow. Well, you can say that they consider from a free kick, but after the game, he said something about that striking thing, the striker's position.
Yes.
He said something about Højlund. He said that Højlund needs a goal. That's what he said. Højlund needs to do. If you remove Højlund from the squad, how do we get a goal? So he will try and keep playing him until he gets a goal. But he is saying that what a striker needs is just one goal. It's exactly what was the only way I know is to work on him, show him the videos. He needs to score a goal, and he will not score if he is out of the team. So I will try and manage that during games. He needs to score one. That's all a striker needs. So you know that the problem is the striker, because how can you play so many games? You're not even scoring goals, and he is the only striker left because Messi is out injured. So he almost every game you don't even have Alma does have maybe a substitute to change him with, because he's only main striker in that team and he's not scoring goals. But the criticism is becoming too much. He did it with Onana. He needed to leave Onana out of the squad for him to get himself small. But for Højlund, he doesn't have an option. He needs to keep playing until he scores a goal. But that striker position is still a problem for Manchester United.
Yeah, the striker position is still a big problem for Manchester United, because right now, the problem with Manchester United is that Manchester United have two problems in the team. Number one is the defense, and number two is the striker up front. Because on some games, like for example, now up till this last game, they are still conceding from set pieces, and it's a theme that is recurring with Manchester United. If you look at the game against Lyon, look at the mistakes they made that led to some of the goals that Lyon scored. It still come back to some of the same problems, right? On the night against Wolves, there was a lot of reshuffling in the back five, and that reshuffling in the back five did not really help the team. It did not really help the team. We had some people played out of position, some other people moved around, but at the bottom line is up front. The problem with Manchester 5 games, winning 5 games, that's 15 points. A draw in 5 games is 5 points.
Yeah.
Look at the disparity between somebody that won 5 and somebody that drew 5. You didn't lose, but you are worse. You are 10 points worse off than the guy who won his 5. And Manchester United cannot talk about winning games without talking about fixing the problem up front, which is in attack. I think a lot of people who have been coming down hard on Garnacho after watching that game will give the boy some cut him some slacks, because he supplied Højlund. He supplied Højlund a couple of passes. Meno supplied as well, and Baba could not even convert anyone. That's the most important thing. And then secondly, it's not that you cannot actually convert. Your positioning is 1,000% off. That's the thing. So I don't know what is going to be the fix for Manchester United right now, because if you look at his player rating in that game, it was 3/10, which tells you that it was totally shambolic all around, and it was taken off for Chido.
Yeah.
So I feel like, as much as you want to give this guy more playing time to get better, I think it would be wiser to give him a day off or a week off and play Chido up front.
That's what Manchester. And if you go on social media after that game yesterday, Manchester United was most of them were saying, if this guy is not doing well, Kukuma just give Chido the 90 minutes, and if you play Chido probably 3 games in a row, play maybe 17 minutes, he might start scoring for you. Since they are giving all the chances to Højlund and he's not scoring, probably they should give it to Chido. Chido might start getting goals, but we are going to see what Amon is going to decide. Even though he said that he's going to start younger players, he started a couple of them in the Amma started, and Federico, Fredrickson started in defense. That is a young boy that started in that defense. Started 2 young boys. He promised that he's going to be playing young boys till the end of the season now, so that the big boys can rest. But it's not working.
The shocking thing is when Arteta came into Arsenal and a lot of these big stars were pulling their shoulders and stuff, Arteta went youth. Because at the point of coming in, he knew that he didn't have 2 seasons, he didn't have transfer windows to do so. He came in before the first transfer window. And when he had that issue with egos in the club, he went youth. It's unfortunate that Manchester United, Ruben Amorim has not gone youth, because a lot of these guys, like for example, if you look at some of the statements he made when he came in and he was having pop, I will tell you that players are not running, players are not doing this, they are not tracking back, they're not doing, and some of those things that you are complaining about, you keep playing the same guys and they keep doing the same thing. I would have gone youth, which was what Arteta did before he started having, and then go look at the signings Arteta made. Arteta did not come in and start signing superstars. Look at the guys he brought in, look at the people he's signing. Is this last transfer window in the summer that he splashed? I think it was Havertz that was the biggest transfer signing that he made. Harvard came in for a lot of money, and what's his name, Miranda also came in for a lot of money. But then look at the rest of the guys. Look at the Saliba. Saliba was brought in as a youth prospect. He went out on loan for one season, came back, and he was grafted back into the team. Look at the other guys that we are talking about, Magales. Look at a couple of other players. So at Amorim needs to have this season. What I would have done is go and focus on the youth.
Okay, let's see what Amorim is going to decide come end of the season. They have only the Europa League to play for, so probably he's focusing all his strength on that Europa League. If they win it, they will play the Champions League next season. Okay, before we talk about the prediction for today's game, on our YouTube channel, remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sport. Slim Z is saying, good morning. If United leave the Europa League, will EPL have okay, will EPL team now be six in the next season's Champions League? Yes, if they win in, six teams will represent England in the Champions League next season. That means top five and one the winner of the Europa League. That's why it's very, very important for either Manchester United or Spurs to win that Europa League this season. Okay, we have one game happening today as Spurs is going to play Nottingham Forest. Let's get your prediction for that game before we move to La Liga.
Nottingham Forest winning, like I can't even come and kill myself right now. Nottingham Forest winning. I think we are the point, and that's why a lot of Manchester United fans didn't have a lot of crazy things to say online after losing that game, because everybody expected it. Everybody expected it, knowing that the theater of dreams right now, anything can come there and dream. And secondly, what's his name, Ruben Amorim has already given them a break it to me gently, which is, guys, we are focusing on Europa League. Forget about Premier League, right? I saw a lot of Manchester United fans in the comment section online saying we no get hope again for Premier League. Anywhere we finish, we finish. So far as we no go relegate, that's the mentality. They focus on the Europa League. The question is going to be, though, if they focus on the Europa and they do not win the Europa, how are they going to look at themselves going into next season?
Well, they have to look themselves the way they have been looking at themselves. They will continue building because it's a building process for Manchester United. They need to give Amon maybe 2 more seasons, then we'll see. Well, maybe we'll see what he's capable of doing. I think it took about 3 seasons for him to start finishing second in the Premier League. So let's see if Amorim will do the same. It might be shorter for him, it might be longer, depending on how long Manchester United board will give him. Okay, the Premier League table, Liverpool is first with 79 points. Arsenal is second with 66 points, and Newcastle are third on the table with 59 points. Fourth position is Manchester City with 58 points. Chelsea is fifth with 57 points. Nottingham Forest, who are playing today, will have 57 points. So if they win or draw today's game, they will move ahead of Chelsea. Then Chelsea will drop out of the Champions League spot. On seventh position is Aston Villa with 57 points. So Aston Villa and Chelsea are the same point. Bournemouth is on 8th position with 49 points. Fulham 9th with 48 points. Brighton are 10th on the table with 48 points. 11 is Brentford with 46 points. Crystal Palace 44 points. They are in 12th position. Everton are in 13th position with 38 points. Manchester United are 14th on the table with 38 points. Wolves are 15th with 38 points too. Remember, Manchester United have
Wolves, they used to be 17.
Yes, Manchester United are 14. They have a negative goal difference. I will keep saying it on this show till the end of the season. They have -8. That means they have considered more. They have scored. In fact, in this season, they have scored only 38 goals and considered 46. So it's very, very poor for Manchester United. Their striker, they need to feed this striking thing. You can concede all you want to concede, but not scoring is where the problem is. Because if you score, if you don't score at all, you will not win the game. You either lose or draw. So you need to score to have a chance to win a game. Okay, on 16th position is Spurs, who play today with 37 points. West Ham is 17th on the table with 36 points. Then the bottom three is Ipswich Town with 21 points. Leicester City on 19th position with 18 points. Then rock bottom is Southampton with 11 points this season. Okay, before we talk about the La Liga, let's give you a quick rundown what happened in La Liga this weekend, because it's getting hot and hot in La Liga.
Very sad result on Saturday.
Yeah, we only focus on 2 teams in this La Liga, in Barcelona, maybe Atletico and Real Madrid. For Barcelona, they won that game on Saturday 4-3. I think the last goal from Rafinha scored in the final minute of that game, the penalty to win that game for Barcelona. They needed all 3 points because Real Madrid are just behind them. Real Madrid on Sunday scored in the final minutes of the game against Atletico Club. They won that game 1-0. Somewhere Las Palmas beat Atletico 1-0 too. So
Shocking result.
it's a shocking result for Atletico. They are not going to win this league again.
Yeah.
If you look at the table in the La Liga, 32 points after 32 games. Barcelona stay first with 73 points. Real Madrid are second on the table with 69 points. Atletico Madrid are third with 63 points. They are 10 points behind the league leader, so it's going to be tough for them.
It's impossible right now
to win that league. It's just about 6 games remaining in the La Liga. So let's see who will finish first. But now the battle is between Barcelona and Real Madrid. The Clasico is coming in 2 weeks' time in the La Liga. So let's see. For Real Madrid to have a chance, they need to beat Barcelona. Beat them, they'll be 1 point just behind them. So they just need to beat them first.
I think their lucky grace was actually rescuing that 3 points over the way.
Yes, if they probably do that again, there is no way they are going to win.
You would have been 7 points, if not so. Yeah, it would have been 7 points, and even if they had gone on to win that Clasico, they would still need to hope for Barcelona
to drop points. Yeah,
it's
but if they win this Clasico next 2 weeks, they will just be 1 point ahead behind Barcelona, which is quite close for them to win the Premier League. Okay, I'm going to open the phone line to take your calls about the weekend's game, that all the things that happened in the weekend. On our YouTube channel, Slimzy is also saying, as a Chelsea fan, I want Spurs to win Forest today. Yes, I know all the Chelsea fans will want Spurs to win today, because if anything, even if you draw for Nottingham Forest, Chelsea will drop out of that top 5. So no Chelsea fan wants that. They want to play Champions League next season. Okay, let's open the phone line and get your own contribution about especially the games that happen in the Premier League this weekend. Remember, the number to call is 0706 048 5853. Let's take the first call. Yeah, hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Name and location, please. Okay, please, Daniel, can you speak up, please? Okay, Emmanuel from Enugu. Okay, what is your contribution? Okay, please call us back. I can't really hear you, or there is a noise from your side. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Let's take another call. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah, this is Ifeanyi, the man Ifeanyi.
Okay, Ifeanyi. Welcome.
Yeah, you people should not worry about Man U again, okay? Don't worry about us. We are okay. This is how we are going to be to the end of the season. So there's no need of talking about Man U. We are bad. We know we are bad. I get you.
Yes.
And we have agreed personal terms with Osimhen. It's circulating already. And next season it will get better. And for the Europa League, we are going to win it.
Okay.
If we didn't win, there's no problem. We tried our best.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We could not leave Man U alone. No. They say they have actually agreed. Okay, everybody has agreed finally that they cannot do any much this season, but they need to fight for that Europa League and win it. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
My name is King James, calling for Kukam.
Okay, what is your contribution?
Yeah, I'm a Manchester United legend. No, we know everything about our issue there.
Okay.
But we continue manage ourselves for the time. To get what we need. We are keeping on playing. God will do it for us to win the Europa League. So no wala.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see if they are going to. I think that's where the hope is. If I'm Manchester United fans or Manchester United, they should just focus.
Are you looking for a shortcut, or are you looking for a permanent fix?
Maybe the winner first. Leave that one first, John.
I don't like shortcuts.
Look at the
are you looking for a shortcut, John, to relieve your glory days and then crash out in group stage, or are you looking for a permanent fix?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, this is where calling from.
Okay, what is the contribution?
Yeah, the money, I don't see money winning the Europa League.
Thank you.
Atletico Bilbao. And Atletico Bilbao is the hosting nation now. Because it's their stadium, they are playing that final.
Okay.
Yes, invariably that I don't see money beating Athletic Bilbao. I feel that it's Athletic Bilbao that carry that thing, because the way Athletic Bilbao play, even at home, Once they concede goals a lot, Atletico Bilbao has fast players. They have Nico Williams, they have that Inaki Williams. Those guys are very fast. And Burnley, they cannot stop conceding. Atletico Madrid can't score them. That's another thing. Atletico Madrid is difficult for you to score them. Look at them, go and check their running from the knockout. Roma only scored one. Okay, it was it home and away. Roma won them the first leg and they won Roma 3-1 and they came and beat Rangers. So Atletico Madrid that cannot have a clean sheet in their defense. They want to go and play Atletico Bilbao that has everything. Because if Mani should beat Atletico Bilbao, then I will give it to Mani to win it.
Okay.
They can eliminate Bilbao, which I believe they cannot. But if they do, then I will stand for them to win it.
All right, thank you. Yeah, the Europa League final is going to be hosted at their stadium at Bilbao Stadium in Spain. So Bilbao will want to try and win and reach the final. They play in their own home stadium is an advantage for them if they play their final in their own home ground. So, but they have Manchester United to play before that will happen. Yeah, hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please.
Good morning, guys. Good
morning.
Good morning.
I think the man is really pulling way to.
Well,
he has shown that he's one of the world-class coach, so to say, if I'm to put it that way.
Yes.
Because the man has done exceptionally well. I'm telling you, right from Sevilla, you see Europa League back to back. Using Villarreal to lead the Europa League on top of our own head, wow, you understand? And now coming to after Gerard leaving Aston Villa, now coming to Aston Villa, he's now doing wonders. I was even expecting Newcastle to even win them. You understand? But to my surprise, flogging them 4-1, them receiving 4-1, is something that I didn't expect. I must tell you. Kudos to him. I just pray that he's going this way. And of course, I know that he must surely drag Chelsea down. That one, I'm very, very sure of that. And I see this at Europa League. Like I used to say, even though everybody is saying that we are not, Manchester United is not going to win the Europa League. We don't know yet. We don't know. Did anyone know that Real Madrid are going to receive 3? The house of Arsenal. After that, we are all been crying that they don't have striker. Let no Arsenal fan come out and tell us that they need striker. I'm telling you, because as it stands now, they don't need to be. They never even play like people that even need striker. I'm telling you, how can you score 7 past PSV? You score 5 past Sporting Lisbon. You score 10 past Real Madrid, and you also have a formidable defense. Even when Saliba he was not there. Even when sometimes Gabriel Magalhaes was not there, and still Arsenal fans will still come out and complain that they don't have striker. Let no Gunners fan.
They have the right to complain. They have the right to complain, yes.
Because it looks so bizarre that they know that they don't have a striker and they are scoring goal past all these formidable teams in Europe. And you know something this one that flog Mercy, you know something this one that they score 5-5. They beat Real Madrid women away. What are you telling me? And you're telling me that it stands now. Mikel Merino is a standard man that you know that is going to Arsenal and he's doing well.
Okay.
Alex, this one about Bello.
Fantastic assist. This is the assist.
Yes.
Please, as it stands now, we know that Arsenal don't have a striker, but they are doing well. Those squad that they have is good enough to beat anybody in Europe. And for my team, it's that Europa League or nothing, all for nothing. Even though we lose game yesterday, me, I don't care. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Manchester United fans, I don't think they care again about the Premier League, but they need to do well in that Europa League semi-finals. Yeah, hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, I'm sorry.
Okay, name and location, please.
Yeah, this is Coach Santos. I'm calling from Enugu.
Okay, what is your contribution?
Yeah, congrats to my team, Liverpool. Then it still shares we are going to do bonus for them to help them qualify. When we play them, by then we might have won the league. We give them a 3-point bonus. You see, this guy, Alex, that just called. When I was telling him in this program that Arsenal is going to beat Real Madrid. It was telling me, you can remember the argument that remember Liverpool come back against Barcelona 3-4. I told him that Real Madrid this time and Arsenal, the way I'm seeing Arsenal, he was arguing with me. Now. It seems like he has agreed with me now. He's saying that Arsenal can win the league, the Champions League. Yes. You see, this squad, and before they play PSG now, those injured players may come back, and the team will be energized more. So even this PSG are seeing, they can't do anything. They only know that Liverpool can do. There's only thing that can beat them. That's why they come out with all their strength. Now look at what they did with Aston Villa. They struggled to survive Aston Villa.
Yeah,
Arsenal. Hello?
We are hearing you. We are hearing you.
Arsenal is going to beat, and Arsenal beat them 2-0 first time.
Yes.
At their group stage. What again did they have that they can beat Arsenal now? I don't think they can beat Arsenal. Even Barcelona with all these small boys, with the small boy where they carry 17 years old boys, do you think they can beat Arsenal? I don't think. So these guys, they are good, and I believe if they achieve that Champions League.
Okay, I think we lost that call. Okay, let's talk about the MPFL a little bit before we end the show. The game that happened in MPFL. In the weekend. Let me take a few more calls before we talk about MPFL because Rangers won that game away from home. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, sorry. Sorry, is it fine, the Man U fan? I was saying something.
Okay.
My airtime is just there. So, just in 30 seconds.
Okay.
We Manchester United, we know what's happening to us. And the coach even said it yesterday in the press conference after the game, that we fans should not expect anything. In the Premier League, this is how we are going to be. And he decided to be playing the second B team. If you look at yesterday's game against, it's the B team. And I saw some highlights. There are some goals that we were supposed to score if there is a good striker.
Yes.
I was very shocked. I don't know how long he's doing that. Even so what we need now is a good top line. Okay. So we know where the problem is. Let's trust by next season we'll get a good striker. Then for the Europa League, anything can happen. Football is unpredictable. I didn't know that we beat Lyon. In fact, I gave up that night.
Okay.
For this thing, I switched off the television.
Okay.
So it's unpredictable. Anything can happen.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In the MPFL in Nigeria, Katsina United beat Abia Warriors 5-1. Lobby Stars 2, Rangers International 4. Enyimba beat Kano Pillars 2-1. Niger Tornadoes beat and Bayelsa United played a 1-1 draw. Academy Warriors and Ikorodu City played a 1-1 draw too. Rivers United beating Sunshine Star 1-0. Heartland 0, Kwara United 0. Rainbow Stars went away to Shooting Star to beat them 1-0. So Rainbow Stars are one step to win this Nigerian MPFL league. Plateau United 1, Aqua United 0, and Benden and National United played out a 1-1 draw. I think good result for Rangers going away to Lobby Stars to score 4. Why we be losing at home Cathedral? We cannot even score at Cathedral. We went away to score 4.
Going away to Cathedral to beat them 4 because they still played here in Enugu.
Yes, we played in Enugu.
You get so, but at least it's not. Let's just call it what it is. It's not the stadium because we lost at home to Heartland last week, right? So it just has to be like mornings. I like the fact that when we suffer these losses, we come back and we at least show glimpses of our true potential.
But you will not call it anything because we played at home too.
We played at home too, yes, and we still lost against Heartland. But at least we show glimpses of our true potential. That's the most important thing. All we want from Rangers is just consistency. That's the thing. It's not 1 week you are struggling to run your normal run. The other week you are running because the last time we lost to Lobby Stars was 2nd of November 2023. You get me? And we've won all our games against them, the last 3 encounters. So it's an opponent that we are used to. But more is, can we just maintain consistency of performance?
Okay.
Because you can't build anything on top of sandy soil.
That win moves Rangers to 16, position with 49 points. Okay, let's take a few more calls. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Just my calling from Ghana to Calais.
Okay, what is your contribution?
Welcome.
My people are shame, there is shame. All the my shame of myself that because to make life inside this. People go in the nation, they talk. Eh? You don't know smart. Coach, I think they start our coach. That coach comes. He say go win, we will win. What is happening now? They come now, begin to talk to them. They are fine. They just say they didn't achieve anything. They didn't achieve anything. It is a shame.
Yeah, okay. If you look at the league table in Nigeria MPFL after 34 games, just 4 games to go. Remo Stars are first with 65 points. Rivers United are second with 58 points. That means Remo Stars have 7 points ahead of them. There is no way they are going to catch them with just 4 games to go. So probably Remo Stars is going to win that league. Third position is Ikorodu City with 53 points. Abia Warriors in fourth position with 53 points too. In fifth position is Bendel Insurance with 50 points. Enugu Rangers has 49 points in sixth position. Enyimba 49 points in seventh position. Shooting Stars are 8th on the table with 48 points. Kano Pillars are 9th on the table with 47 points. In 10th position is Bayelsa United with 46 points. 11th position, Plateau United with 45 points. 12th position, Kwara United with 44 points. Katsina United with 44 points. In 13th position, 14th position is Niger Tornadoes with 44 points. 15th position is National United with 43 points. El Kanemi Warriors are 16th on the table with 43 points. 17th on the table is Heartland of Owerri, 42 points. And the bottom three is Aqua United with 38 points. Sunshine Star is 19th with 38 points. And last on the table is Lobby Stars with 25 points. And let's see, probably 3 of them is obviously probably going to go down to the second division next season. Well, let's see what happens with them. Okay, this is how we are going to end today's show. But quickly, in the Serie A, it's happening well in the Serie A too, because if you look at the position in Serie A, Inter Milan lost in the weekend 1-0 to Bologna, and Napoli won their game on Saturday. Now, if you look at the table, Inter is still first with 71 points, and Napoli is second with 71 points. So, in the last 5 games, the last 5 games of the season, they are going to fight it out to see who will win this Serie A this table. Okay, thank you for joining us for today's show. Thank you for joining us, all those that join us on our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. You can always join us live anywhere you are around the world. We'll give you premium content here of sports, especially in the EPL, in Nigerian MPFL. Will give you content that you like, and all the bands and all the banter that you need. We are here for you. Tomorrow we'll come back and discuss everything happening around football. My name is Godwin. I'm John. Happy Easter. Let's wish our fans happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Easter was yesterday now.
Happy Easter.
So happy this Easter Monday. I know most of you are at home enjoying this holiday. So let's be good to ourselves and good to other people. Happy Easter to all our loving fans and people that always join us here at Volt FM Sport, and our fans all around that's always been with us since we started this show. Thank you for being part of our family. My name is Godwin, and have a wonderful Easter holiday.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Sports. Now Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a great entertainment.
I was saying this I thought they were going to win.
News and politics.
Enugu State Governor has sentenced the electricity
Gospel.
And let them have dominion.
The kingdom of God is within people.
Look at that. Same number of draws, same number of losses, same number of points.
Odinibo.
Dalo ndị be anyị ekele m unu Igbo ndị ọma njem ọnụ unu na-emekwa ọfụma.
Also programs exclusively on
Volt 104.3 FM.